I live in a small one-bedroom house on a quiet street just outside of town. It's not fancy, but it's mine and it's peaceful, usually. I work the night shift at a local hospital, so I'm used to sleeping during the day and being up all night. But last Tuesday was my day off. I went to bed around 11 p.m., glad to finally get a full night of rest. At 3:08 a.m., I woke up to the sound of knocking. Not loud, not frantic. Just a slow, deliberate knock 3 times. I sat up, groggy and disoriented. My first thought was that maybe it was a neighbor needing help. But no one ever visits me, especially not in the middle of the night. I stayed still, listening. Another knock. 3 more. Same pace. My bedroom is at the back of the house, and from my window I can see a sliver of the front porch. I crawled out of bed and peeked out. There was a man standing at my front door. He was facing it directly, completely still, not looking around, not shifting his weight, just standing there. He wasn't dressed like a typical stranger. He wore a button-up shirt tucked into old, clean jeans. No jacket, even though it was chilly. His hands were at his sides. He didn't look homeless. He didn't look drunk. But something about him felt wrong. I moved to the hallway and checked my Ring camera feed. It was working fine, but the live view showed nothing but darkness. That was weird. My porch light should have illuminated him. I tapped the brightness settings. Still nothing. I crept to the living room and peered through the side window. The man was still there. He hadn't moved an inch. I whispered, more to myself than anything, "What the hell?" Then he knocked again. Same 3 knocks. Still slow. Still steady. I didn't want to open the door. But I also didn't want to call the police unless I had a real reason. Maybe he was lost. Maybe he needed help. Maybe. I decided to speak through the door. "Can I help you?" I said loudly, keeping the door locked. No response. He didn't even flinch. I tried again, louder this time. "Who are you?" Nothing. Just silence. And then he turned his head, just slightly, toward the door, as if acknowledging me. But he didn't say anything. His expression never changed. It was like he was listening. I took a step back, and then he spoke. 3 words. "Let me in." His voice was calm. Flat. No emotion. I felt a cold chill run through me. My hands started shaking. I locked the deadbolt, even though I knew it was already locked. I whispered, "No," and backed away. He didn't move. Didn't knock again. Just stood there. I went to grab my phone to call the police. But I had no signal. No Wi-Fi. Nothing. That's when I heard scratching. Not loud. Not aggressive. Just faint, slow scratching on the door, like he was dragging a finger down it. Then silence. I stood there frozen, not knowing what to do. I didn't want to go back to the window. I didn't want to see him again. After maybe 10 minutes, I slowly crept back to the side window. He was gone. The porch was empty. I waited another hour before I finally fell asleep on the couch, clutching a kitchen knife. The next morning, everything was back to normal. Wi-Fi worked. Phone had full signal. Nothing on the Ring camera. But there were scratches on the door. Long, thin scratches. From top to bottom. They looked like they'd been made with a nail. I filed a report with the police. They sent a car by, took notes, but didn't find anything useful. They told me it was probably just some weirdo passing through. But here's the part one can't explain. The neighbor across the street has a camera pointed toward my house. I asked if she had footage from that night. She did. The footage shows my porch clearly. At 3:08 a.m., the porch light flickers on. And nothing is there. No man. No knocking. No one visible at all. But I heard the knocking. I saw him. And the scratches are still on my door. I haven't had a full night's sleep since.